Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the South Park Center. I'm here with Sam with his movie, The Bee. Let's take a look at the clip. Sam, thank you for being here.
No problem.
Really appreciate it. I loved your film on a very personal level. I loved it for so many different reasons. But for those that haven't seen it, tell us a little bit about your film.
Okay, it's about a woman who comes back into her old town after being gone for a while. She left when she was really young after this tragedy in her life, which you kind of slowly find out about throughout the film. And she comes back into town and it's just overrun with crime, and it's way worse than it was when she left. And the town is kind of like this surreal, comic booky type place with superheroes and villains and crazy over the top gangs and stuff. So in her family, being a superhero kind of runs in her family, I guess. And she's reluctant to take over that mantle after what happened in her past. She killed her dad, whatever, spoiler alert, no one's gonna care.
Yeah,
whatever.
We'll bleep it out, don't worry.
Yeah, I get it, it's okay. So she's got this thing that prevents her from this internal kind of struggle, I guess. And over the course of 12 minutes, she's trying to get over that and step into the shoes of her dad, who was the original Bee, to help clean up the city.
It's such a great, it really is a great story. It really is. And when you watch it, as I just said to you off camera, I was blown away by the production design, the lighting, the colors. Obviously, you're very talented to sort of notice those key areas, particularly with the sort of comic book feel. How was that process for you?
That was really way easier than I thought it was going to be. For me, it was easy because I had a really good team. I had these ideas, I wanted it to look a certain way, and I just kind of gave pictures to my DP, Ashley, who was amazing, and she brought on an art director, Ryan. I also name him, so I give him credit, because this is a really great element of our film. Ryan Gallagher was art director, Ashley Agron was the DP, and we've got Renato was one of my production designers, and Songy. So Songy, Renato, Ryan, were the production design art directing team. And I would just give them stuff and be like, can we do this with no money? And they're like, we'll figure it out. And they did. And our producers were really vital in that too, and making sure we could afford that stuff.
It was a really wonderful experience. I felt like I was in a video game. It was really cool. And then just the concept of the story of this superhero family, and almost it was nice to kind of have a feel like an everyday person could just become this sort of superhero kind of feel to it too. Backtrack a little bit. Where did the inspiration come from? Where you're like, I want to turn this into a film.
Well, it was done through a class at USC that's very specific. You could either do a thesis and spend $1 million of your own money, or you could try to get into this one class where they pick 3 directors to direct they fund it for you, essentially, and you direct a 12-minute film. To do that, you can't write it yourself, so you have to find. Well, writers submit a bunch of different scripts, and you go through the pool, and you find one that you like, and you pitch it to the faculty. And this guy, Mike Carr, a friend of mine, wrote this little superhero thing, and it was really cool. I'm like, no one writes this stuff, because you get really overdramatic stuff in film school, which is fine. It's just not my thing. So I didn't think I was going to find anything good, but I found that, and then together we worked on developing it into a bigger, fuller story. Because when the first draft of the script was just the fight scene at the end. That's all it was. I'm like, well, how do we make this kind of
happen?
How do we give it some heart to it? It was really important to me to give the character some real meaning, I guess, and I don't know, to really develop her as opposed to just this flat superhero fighter person. I wanted her to have some kind of story. But
well, I think what I also was fascinated by was how on earth do you go about making a film? Is because obviously you've got, as I say, you've got fight scenes in there. You've got you've got a few different sort of locations and sort of setups. And I thought, wow, what was the biggest challenge you faced in making this project?
Yeah, there were a lot of challenges, but stunts I think were a big one. I was really lucky with that too. I just felt like the team came together and we just really nailed it. With stunts, a good friend of mine ended up playing the lead of the bee, and she trained stunts at 8711 with like John Wick people and stuff, and she's like, well, I can ask some of them. So she trains stunts with some people who are just like the best in the business or whatever, and she's not really a stunt person, she's an actress, but kind of does stunts. And through her, she introduced me to Monica, our stunt coordinator, who does a ton of stuff, and she's really awesome. And we got Jeremy and Athena and Aaron, who played like the main bad guys.
Yeah.
And they're all just
so
like
cool.
the professional stunt people who do the craziest stuff.
Wow.
And I just got really lucky with all of those people, like the whole team.
It was amazing. The whole team. It just
Cool.
I felt that it was really, really effective to watch and see. It felt
good.
like I was just. It was really, really. It was like a comic book. It was great.
Awesome.
People love to bring in, sort of like fights and stunts. As a director, is there any advice you give to any directors that want to bring stunts into their film? Like, any advice you have?
One thing I learned is that I wasn't always thinking about the people. It sounds terrible, like, because I had the shots in my mind. Yeah. I mean, I'm always thinking about my people, but like when I'm getting the shot, and at a certain point, I forget that this person is like flying through the air and landing on like the cold ground in the middle of the night over and over again. At first, I was very like aware of that and didn't want to do it too much, and then once I saw that they can do it, I forgot about it, and I'm like, oh, I want to do this big oneer and keep doing this, and like, I don't know. So I would say just be more aware of like the stunt people and what they're going through, so you don't have any accidents or injuries.
It's very important. It's a very important thing. I think with the efforts that you went to, the production and all the beautiful colors and the sets and everything else, like this film deserved and needed to be seen for its full effect on a big screen, which it really did, and it's funny.
It's fun to see it on a big screen.
It is. So how was that experience for you? Like, how has that been? Because it must look wonderful up there.
It looks cool. Yeah, I really like it, because on a phone or whatever, it's like cool to see, but like the big screen, I really wanted it to feel like the movies I would see in theaters when I was a kid in the 90s, and it feels a little like that to me, watching it on the big screen. So I was really happy.
No, it's fantastic. What is next for you?
I have a pilot that I'm directing right now. It's called Dreams of a Champion. It's like a parody on like Jean-Claude Van Damme movies from like the 80s.
Oh, cool.
Kind of. It's like really melodramatic, intentionally melodramatic to make it funny, I guess. I think it's really funny, and there's some more action and stuff. So that we're just pitching, I think, pretty soon. We're almost done the pilot, and then we're going to pitch it to people and see if we can get it like a series, I think.
Oh, fantastic.
But I don't know. And then I'm also trying to do this like Ninja Turtles fan film, which is so weird.
I'm all over that, because I was in love
That's my major.
them.
Really?
Yeah.
The first like Turtles movie is like something I always bring up to like my team, and they're like, "Oh, you want to like Turtles again?" Like, kind of.
No, I'm with you. I'm joining your party.
Cool,
I love it.
man.
Yeah, I know.
It's so dark, and I want to do a Casey Jones story that's just like super dark and the start of like a bigger story. And I don't know, see what happens, but
often I'll be first in line for that.
Well,
one,
thank
worry.
you.
All right, so make it happen, please.
I'm gonna do it,
even just for my sake. Okay.
Okay, cool.
No, thank you. As a filmmaker, is there any piece of advice that you may have learned that you can kind of share with your audience for any filmmakers out there want to follow in your footsteps?
I'm so bad with advice, because I never think that what I'm doing is like any good. So I'm like,
really good.
But I mean, thank you, but I wasn't fishing for compliment. But
That's right.
I think I was thinking about that after. I think I was asked that last night, and I didn't know what to say. But with my friends and stuff in the filmmaking community that I've been meeting and whatnot, I've found, and like trying to network and get jobs, it's important to know like what you want to do and like what you are, and I like how you like identify. So I'm like a director, and when people meet me, I'm like, I'm a director. I'm not saying like, oh, I edit and I write and I like produce and I do sound sometimes for people, but I direct. Like I think it's important to know exactly what you want to do and tell people that's what you are. So when someone's like, man, I need like a sound guy for this thing, they're not going to think of the guy who's like, well, I edit and do sound and produce. You'll think of the sound guy I just met. I don't know, or director or producer or whatever, actor.
Well, so. I love that, and it's funny because we were actually talking about that earlier, and I think it's good to understand and know all different roles and never feel like you've got to commit that for the rest of your life. But when you are talking to someone, it is important, because it's almost a it's almost a self-evaluation of yourself that, yes, I am a director, rather than I'm trying to be a director, or I'm this and this and this and this and this.
Yeah, I do think you should just label yourself as what you want to be. I mean, it's definitely is good to know a lot of different disciplines.
No, I absolutely agree with that. Well, listen, please bring more to us.
Sure.
Keep making movies for us, and I love the style of your film.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I want to thank you guys too, and everyone at New Filmmakers LA. Because I've been to some film festivals that don't care about indie film at all. It's like they're cash grabs, or like there's some weird scam, and you're like, what the heck? Like, what is happening with this? Why am I paying like $1,000 to go to some weird award show that makes no sense? Like, it's all just like fake. But film festivals like yours, like, I really appreciate, because you care, and it's amazing to me and everyone in the community, I think. So
thank you.
I appreciate it. It's so good to see like people who care about indie film.
Thank you. We really do care, but we couldn't do it without films you submit to us, and thank you for sharing yours. So we really appreciate that, and welcome to the New Filmmakers family.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Everybody, thank you.